This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live 100 feet from the Gulf of America.
Test.
Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And thank you all for coming to Wahoo Willie's today. We have a nice big crowd for a great show that we have lined up. We are giving things away. We're selling raffle tickets for the Youth Council in Cape Coral for $20. Our shirts are $15. Now, you waited until the last minute, but I'm going to read this out now. Now, we have some help over here from our friends from the Fort Myers Beach Art Association. And by the way, it's Star's birthday today, everybody. Happy birthday, Star. Yes. It was Denny's birthday yesterday, everybody. Yes. And we're not only selling tickets for the Youth Council, that drawing is for the Pink Shell Resort Weekend Getaway, which we're going to be drawing next Friday. Please don't touch anything. Let me do all the touching. Your microphone was on way too high. Go ahead. You're good now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I apologize.
Do not touch the equipment.
I'm sorry to the folks that aren't used to this show.
You woke everybody up.
Like ruined your breakfast here, but he always yells at me to take care of my own stuff. And the one time I hit the button.
You don't have to whisper anymore.
Well,
He turned
I'm
your
afraid
microphone
now.
down.
I don't want to break anybody's eardrums.
Go ahead. You want to tell everybody?
Yeah. So after we do the first two interviews, Lacey McCleary, I don't know if she's here yet. She's coming on. And she's going to be talking about her event through the Island Hopper Song Fest. And she is bringing a pair of Chris Young pool party at Pink Shell tickets. So
you can register now.
You're going to want to get in on that giveaway too, my friends.
So all you need to tell them what to do, dear. They have no idea. We have coupons, whatever they're called, raffle tickets here. Just fill out. If you want to be eligible for that, we'll draw the winner at the end of the show. And if you're here, you're here. If you're not, we'll call you and send you the tickets. So all you need to do is come up to this bucket on this table and fill that out. Okay. Thank you very much. And Lacey will be on later on. So before we get to our first guest, John King, I have to ask the audience a question because yesterday after the show, we came home and
I didn't go to the show yesterday.
I know. I came home from the show. We were sitting out in the backyard and just, we watched a terrible movie. Liam Neeson, who we love, he's in this awful movie. That movie
there's
was
never
terrible.
a bad movie with Liam Neeson in it.
Yeah, he's great, but that movie was awful.
So tough. And it was just very predictable.
It was terrible. And so she says to me, now I want you, Tom, and Jamie and everybody here, the dudes, to answer this question. When your wife says to you, what if I left you for 6 months? What would you think?
That you're taking it out of context.
No, that's exactly what you said to me. What if I left you for 6 months? And then I thought, well, okay, she's got a boyfriend 6 months out of the year, and then she comes home. I mean, what would you think if you said that?
Listen,
you said that to me.
Okay, the movie. Let me set the context and set the story straight. The movie, he was going to Mount Everest. Now he knows I'm never going to make it to Everest. This is just all in my mind. But I love going out and doing adventures, and so I have talked forever about doing the Appalachian Trail, and that is 6 months. So the 6 months thing was in regards to doing that. It wasn't listen, I would dare see a woman raise her hand here that's going to get a boyfriend on the side, because you all know it is already enough that we have to deal with and put up with. I don't want two. Who wants two? Nobody wants two.
Anyway, I have a very low self-esteem.
I barely want the one I have.
Yeah. So when you said that, and then I can't believe you showed up with no eyelashes today either. I mean, what were you thinking about?
I do have them on now.
You said something yesterday about having no eyelashes.
Oh, no, I've got this thing going on. It's called blepharitis, and I'm losing all my eyelashes.
I used to have that when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's a thing.
What is blepharitis?
It's an irritation of your eyelid where it makes your eyelashes fall out. And the older
God.
you get, the less you have. So you need to keep every one you have.
Blepharitis. All right, dear. Enough about us.
You have brain cell-itis.
Yes, nobody cares about us. Let's get to our first guest today. He is on the Town Council of Fort Myers Beach. Can we get a big hand for Town Council member John King, everybody?
It looked like you had to look at your notes.
No, I'm looking at the chair to make sure we have enough room here.
And listen,
With the
make sure
camera.
you
Move over
turn
a
his
little.
mic on because I'm not touching anything.
His mic is going to be on. John's walking with a cane. Grab your
Well,
mic
he
there,
had.
John.
I was looking for my walk-up music. I was hoping you were going to play Billy Joel, "Innocent Man,"
The best walk-up
because
music.
I am an innocent man. Oh, yes, I am.
How long have
An
you been
innocent
working
man.
on that?
Of course, when I was in radio.
Yeah.
Of course, then if you get the recall chairs on here, you can always play Three Dog Night. Liars.
Okay, we're coming right out of the gate.
Liars.
Coming out of the gate swinging.
Liars.
You
Yeah.
better turn his
Coming
mic
out hot.
down.
Yeah, a little bit hot, John. I want you to relax a little bit. We have 30
Yeah,
minutes.
we
and
have
there's-
30
yeah.
minutes. We have a lot of time to
Here's-
get going.
Here's something I can understand, that she would leave you for 6 months. I mean,
Yeah.
we all can relate to that.
So, how are you doing? How are you feeling about how things are going for no? If let me set the stage in case people don't know. John and Karen Woodson are on a recall ballot for November 4th. There was enough signatures on Fort Myers Beach. We'll get into how the signatures were gathered in a minute, but there were enough signatures that were gathered on Fort Myers Beach to put John and Karen on a recall ballot that will take place on November 4th. If a majority of people vote for the recall, there'll be names. We know 3 names so far that are underneath the recall. If it passes, if the recall fails, then it's all over with right there. Doesn't matter who gets what vote. And so the November 4th is the election, and the final day to qualify to be put on the recall ballot is Monday at 5 o'clock. So right now we have Rebecca Link, who's coming on next Saturday at Margaritaville. We have Eddie Rood, who wait till that interview in about 30 minutes. And then we have, who's the third person? I've already forgotten. The third person is,
Former quarterback.
oh, sorry, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is, and Tom is the chairperson of the Protect FMB group, which has filed a lawsuit, the writ, against the town to try and stop Seagate. So it's a whole cluster circle of things that are going on here. So how
You're going to need to get your John Madden
I know.
playbook out there.
How are you doing? How are you feeling about the recall?
Obviously not well, but keep in mind, what was it, 500 people? And I remember back in 2022 after Hurricane Ian, the former mayor got 1,000 votes. So that says a lot about some folks on this island. So 500 doesn't impress me yet, but we'll see.
They needed 505. They got closer to 600. So
no, it was five. It was well under 600 because quite a few of them were thrown out.
Right. They had to be verified by the Lee County elections folks, and they submitted 600-ish, and then they always a certain percentage gets kicked out. And just for everybody's historic knowledge, there's never ever been a recall as long as Lee County has been in existence that the elections board, elections folks can find. There's never been a recall. And so Fort Myers Beach may make history in less than or a little bit longer than 1 month. So
it may open up a Pandora's box too, because now that it's been done, people will see that, and you probably can figure every year after somebody's been elected that if somebody doesn't like them, they might just continue to make up stuff and do the whole process.
We'll talk about the makeup stuff, but it is a hard process. I think it's a hard process because there are basically four steps. You have to get signed petitions of 10% of the voters. Then you have to go back and get them verified. Then you have to get 15%. You can't use the same ballots. You have to go re-get the second set of votes of 15%. They have to get verified. Then you have to have a recall election where 50% of the votors vote somebody out. So it's not that simple, but it is.
Is it really that hard in a town this small, though?
I think that's the point that was kind of circling in my head. I know we've talked about that something like that tried to happen in another community that's much bigger. And when you have a smaller knit community, you can, it takes a group of people that are unhappy and they coalesce. And then I don't think it is as difficult in a bigger community as it is in a smaller community.
And I'll give
and
them
once
credit.
you've done it once,
Yes.
now you have the situation down and people are listening to what other people are saying and not maybe making their own decisions. I don't know, but yeah.
I'll give them credit. I think they've done a great job. I mean, I think people expected them to go to door, and most of this was done by email.
Well, the people still had to sign something physically.
And turn it in. But, yeah.
So part of the problem that we all see is that you have to write 200 words on the recall petition, and you have to make these allegations that fit into, I think it's 7 criteria. Malfeasance, misfeasance are the ones that are wide open where you can put things in. Drunkenness. We won't touch that one. I don't mean that toward you.
I only had pineapple juice.
I don't mean that toward you. So the thing is that what happened was they accused you of violating the Sunshine Law.
Beach.
I don't know if you were included in the taking of the gifts or
yes.
Taking of gifts from developers. So I know we addressed this once before. So how do you want to address the Sunshine Law violation and the taking of gifts?
Well, none of them have happened, and it's hard to prove a negative because I've never taken a gift from anybody. I'm not somebody that asks for anything. That's just how I grew up. I mean, I'm more of a giver than a taker. I think because early on in my life, we had a family business where I grew up working in, and that was taken out by a semi truck right before Christmas of 1968. And I picked up a shopper route, a weekly shopper route, just to help out with my family. Didn't ask for Christmas presents again after that because I just didn't feel good about things. I wanted to give back instead of take. So that's the kind of person I am. As far as the Sunshine Law violation, I posted on my Facebook page that video from January 23rd, 2023, where it was discussed at a council meeting, and it didn't happen.
What was discussed?
We talked about replacing the town attorney. One of the 3 things I ran on in 2022 was replacing the town manager, the town attorney, and we accomplished both. But in December of 22, I was talking to someone locally. We wanted to try and get a local person to represent the town, a local attorney. And that person was interested in doing it, but their job situation changed, so they couldn't do it. So they referred to me to somebody else, a law firm that was actually handling Sanibel. I reached out to them by email in December of 2022, December 15th of 2022, and asked if they'd be interested. They said, sure. I said, okay, listen, with the holidays coming up, I'm leaving town. Let's get together again after the first year and see if you're still interested. So I came back to town in January of 23, contacted them on January 13th, again via email, and said, are you still interested? And they said, sure are, but in full disclosure, Karen Woodson has reached out to us for a presentation. And I said, oh, okay, well, that's new to me. And they said, do you still want to meet? And I said, you know what? No, I will wait until you come before us on January 23rd. I'll wait then. And that was the extent of my contact. Karen and I never coordinated that. If you go back to the video, Karen addresses it as well. She talks about how she met with them in person, and I was never a part of that.
Right.
So that's just the way.
By the way, that you guys never spoke directly to each other about this thing, and so that one's a stretch there. But by the way, if somebody is accused of violating the Sunshine Law, there is a process that you go through. There is a commission
on ethics.
On ethics, a state commission on ethics. Tracy Gore and Dennis Boback. Somebody filed a complaint against them when they were speaking about the Margaritaville lawsuit in the Whale together. And Leah Gregg recorded the two of them talking, and that was sent on to the state ethics commission. And to us, that was a clear violation of the Sunshine Law, and the ethics commission said no. And so, by the way, the only reason I say that is because nothing was ever filed, and Bill will say, Veach will say that this isn't a court of law for whatever. We all know they're going around talking about Seagate. That's what everybody, and that's why everybody has signed the thing.
Well, this is interesting because now it is in a court of law, and on October 1st, we will be having a video hearing. And one of the things that the recall committee has done is filed a protective order. And it's like, a protective order? They don't want the facts to come out. They don't want you, they don't want me to see any proof because there is no proof. That's why they had to file a protective order, and they're going to court to try and get that squash from ever having to show any proof.
By the way,
the way that it's written, the way that the recall stuff is written, they don't necessarily have to file
proof,
right? But
this is just a sad
But this is
attempt.
a different thing.
This is a sad attempt to circumvent the law. They've gone around the spirit of the law. They filed those charges, none of which are true, and then did the shift over to Seagate, which people are angry about. So yes, that's got people all stirred up. But that's not the issue, because you can't recall somebody for a legal, legitimate council vote, and that's what the Seagate vote was. So this is all just a sham and a scam, and it's a waste of your time. And I'm sad to say it's been a waste of $40,000 of taxpayer money. That's a shame.
Yeah. So just to back up for a second, so people know the protective order is not that John has to be protected or Veach has to be protected from each other.
it's the information.
Right. They want to protect they don't want to provide any discovery, is what I think that it comes down to. You guys, your attorney has asked for some kind of documentation or discovery, and they filed that.
How is that? I mean, discovery is part of the process.
Yep.
It's part of a legal process. I mean, I guess I can think of some things that should be protected, but this is not one of them.
And unfortunately, I feel like the judge is going to, I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like the judge is going to dismiss this because, and I've said that before, and I know you don't like me saying it, but I do feel like the judge is going to dismiss it because everything that I've read says that the judges dismiss their lawsuits against Karen and John,
to stop the recall.
their lawsuits against Bill and Ray Murphy, because the history of all this is that the judges don't get involved in the proof. The judges get involved in, okay, did they file those 200 words correctly? And they did. Unfortunately, it's a lie, but they did file it correctly because it is an allegation of a Sunshine Law violation. If it happens the other way, I'll be totally happy for you. But I don't see the judge getting involved in.
Well, and that just depends. Of course, you got the human factor involved with the judge, but there is precedent, because our attorney has cited, where district court judges have tossed it out because there was no proof.
No,
there are. The Moultrie case.
Yeah, I read the Moultrie case, and it doesn't have to do with.
And then there's another one that was up in not Collier, but not Charlotte, another county that starts with a C.
Well, I just disagree with their attorney.
The judge threw it out because there was, again, no proof.
Okay, so one of the cases.
Let me ask, is there a case, isn't it, don't you have a case for defamation? Has that been something you've considered?
Well, regardless of how this turns out, and I'm hoping that you'll all vote no on November 4th, or request an absentee ballot or a mail-in ballot and do it ahead of time. You have until October 23rd to request those from the Lee County Elections Office. I will look at pursuing, under my own cost, defamation against Bill Veach, because he knows this is not true about the Sunshine Law violation. He was there on that council when it happened, when we discussed it, and it was nothing, and it went nowhere. And the town attorney at the time that we ended up replacing didn't even do anything with it, because he's under an ethics obligation, if there was a Sunshine Law violation, to do something about it. He did not do anything.
Well, and I guess if somebody...
This is a payback 2 years later for Seagate. Plain and simple. It's a hoodwink.
It's more than a Seagate payback. It's also a payback for firing Heron, who Bill Veach is buddies with, and Ray Murphy are buddies with. They're all buddies.
You're alleging all of this.
When we lost, when we got
told
rid
us
of,
on the show that he was still buddies with him.
When we got rid of Roger Hernstadt and John Heron, all his argument was always, we're losing institutional knowledge. And I told him, Bill, sometimes institutional knowledge belongs in an institution.
Yeah. And the other payback is on the Ray Murphy side is the fact that you beat him in the election.
He's bitter.
So, I mean, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure they all think it's all above board and everybody's just doing this for the right thing, right reasons.
If people sitting on that council felt that there had been an ethics violation, why wasn't it reported then? I know that's sort of a rhetorical question.
Yes, very much rhetorical.
Well, you know why Dan's not here today? Dan's not here today because he's worried that these people will take a picture of the two of you together. That's how crazy the whole thing has gotten.
Yeah, I'm not sure
and
if
you
that's
guys-
true or not.
And you guys
I don't know
you
that
guys are
that's true.
friends.
He's not here to speak for himself,
yeah,
so you
Dan
shut
and
your
I
face.
have no problem with
No, I
that,
know
so-
you don't. That's my point. Is that it's gotten to the point where everybody's kind of freaked out. It's a small community. You are allowed
sure.
to, go out with each other or see each other at different events. Hell, we've been to how many different Cape Coral events? The one I went to Thursday night, 4 council members were in the same spot with the city manager.
Yeah.
I mean, those things happen when you live in a small town.
Dan and I are good. Dan
Yeah.
and I have made a
I didn't
tradition.
mean for it to come
No,
across a different way.
That's fine. Dan and I have made a tradition of every year going to the memorial service for the fallen Lee County Sheriff's deputies. And I asked him this year, do you still want to do that? Do you want to be seen with me? And he said, no. He didn't have a problem with it. Let's go do that. And we did it. And that's our way of honoring. And I like that tradition that we.
No, but I can understand. My point is, if you guys are sitting together, somebody will snap a picture and make a big deal out of it on social media. So I get the whole thing. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about was, what kind of campaign are you going to be running to try and get people to vote no on the recall?
Well,
and do you think you have a chance?
Obviously, I was silly enough to think I had a chance to get elected in 2022 after only being on the island for a little over a year. So obviously, I put my faith in some people, and I think there's a lot of good people out here today that support me. I've reached out. I've had folks reach out to me. So we'll be doing things. I think we have to form a political action committee since we're not really a candidate. So that's a little bit different. But we'll be doing some things to try and urge folks to vote no on the recall. And who knows, maybe I'll get my wife to jump in as a candidate at the last second.
Wow. I saw that bus, Chris. It just went right over you, backed up, and went over you again.
No, Chris
Liam Neeson was driving that bus.
Chris is the chair of the Anchorage committee.
And just was recently appointed by the governor to the library board.
Library board. By the way, there's a library.
She's going with me on this 6-month hiatus now.
Yeah, for sure. So
I'd be okay if she comes back after 6
By the way,
months.
just a little aside here. Have you seen any dogs eating children on the south end of the island that I missed? Or
no, I saw a couple small teacup dogs yesterday that were off leash, and I was scared to death. But,
yes.
I was glad I was up in my unit, so I was protected.
He's joking, everybody. He's got a dry sense of humor, but he is joking. So the other, I guess I want to ask you now that you've seen the reaction to Seagate.
Oh, wait, I thought of something.
Do you regret your Seagate vote?
I do not. I think it's something I think, in my mind, we followed the comp plan and the LDC because that was a concern of mine. That was one of the 2 concerns of mine I had going into that final vote. I had talked to somebody on this island who's been around a long time, and and you associate the word "great" with her name when you talk about her. We talked on Sunday before the Monday vote, and I had a concern, and she had a concern about that Colby part of the project because they had not secured that, but they kept talking about how it was theirs and things like that. And then I told her, I said, I do have concerns that I want to make sure we're following the comp and the LDC. Well, we went in Monday. Seagate removed the Colby project. They decided to end that, so that was not part of the issue anymore. So then I specifically asked the town attorney, this was on December 16th of last year, are we violating any regulations, ordinances, comp plan, or the land development code by approving this? She said no. I asked the town planner, Sarah Probst. Again, she said, no, we're not violating any regulations. At that point, then, the town staff, town management got up and said that they thought it was in the public interest to approve this project for a reason of economics, and that's what I agreed with.
So just so I know, people are starting to type in the chat box that you just need to follow the comp plan, that the council needs to follow the comp plan.
And I just told them we did.
I know, but I'd like to be more specific than that because
I don't know how much more specific I can get than a lawyer.
I didn't say you. I said me.
Yeah.
Relax for 30 seconds, John, okay? So when people say follow the comp plan, what they mean is 3 or 4 stories over flood. That's what they mean. They don't want anything higher than 3 or 4 stories. Now, maybe 7 or 8 or 10 or something is that they can listen to. But what they say is definitely not 17 and 3 or 4. The town council, I believe, when you guys do the CPD and do the development agreements and do the development orders, you just put yourself in a shithole here because you're letting people in the back door.
Okay. But
We've said that 100 times.
We
though.
have said that 100 times, and that's not them.
No.
The way it was written was the way it was written
Yes.
years ago.
But my
So
point is,
that-
people say
that
follow the
back
comp
door-
plan. They really,
Well,
they are not following it the
and
way
I
you
believe-
want them to follow
I
it.
believe it was Dan who corrected and say it wasn't the comp plan, it was the LDC about the.
Well, whatever. All the
I'm
paperwork
just telling
together.
you, I got corrected, so I want to make sure I get it right.
I'm not a judge. The judge may kick it back to you that Protect FMB has spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars for these attorneys to write this court case that you might get a kickback. Now, let's just say that you win the recall and you were still on. What are you doing? I mean, I don't mind you touching me like that. It was the last time you touched me like that was the last Ali Frazier fight.
Well,
So
it'll
the,
be another 6 months too.
Oh.
So
12.
let's say the writ wins and the recall loses. So you're still on the council. The case for some reason comes back to you. How do you vote?
I listen to the facts again, and I'll make my judgment at that time.
If the facts don't change, will you vote the same, or will you change your vote based on the community reaction?
I go with facts over feelings, so I will judge it on the facts at that time.
So if the facts don't change, how will you vote?
I will judge at that moment in time. Thank you for
Hold
asking
your line. Hold
several
your line.
times.
Okay. Is
Dear,
that,
things can change.
is that applause for me for asking the
No,
question? three
Better
different
was.
times? Yeah. So, so the other question I have for you is London Bay is now coming at you at 15 stories. How do you feel about 15 stories in a general kind of way in the mid-island to south part of the
General
island?
kind of way.
General kind of way.
Again, when that project
I didn't
comes-
ask you about that project.
any project that comes before me, I look at it at that time.
John, you realize that here's your
realize
chance.
that-
Here's
I
your
realize
chance.
that you're wanting
me-
to get something that
I'm
I'm
not.
not willing to give
They
you.
are.
Let me
They
ask.
are.
Let me
No.
ask something.
I don't hear any of them asking me.
You live on the South Island,
South
south
End.
end of the island, right? Are there other structures down there that are 12 stories high,
Yes.
more than 12 stories high? Do those bother you?
I'm 6. Well, I used to be 6'8", and then I found out when I went to the hospital I'm only 6'7" now. So obviously height doesn't bother me. But
Okay.
Okay, so let me bring a Greg, and we're waiting
Did you
for.
see how you can? There's a way you
Yeah.
can ask stuff.
He didn't answer that either.
He did. He
she's,
said it doesn't bother him.
she's
Okay.
better at math and question
For sure.
asking than you.
So
Where's
vote,
the bell?
so vote yes on the
Where
recall,
is the-
everybody.
Hey,
Just kidding.
That's not nice.
So let's bring Greg into the equation here. He's typing in the chat box, and I for some reason I don't know why Greg hasn't filed yet. I'm expecting him to file tomorrow, or he can type on here that he's not filing. He says, John, it's pretty hypocritical to say Seagate follows the comp plan by some poorly written language, and then complain when your electorate recalls you using what you say is poorly written statute.
I didn't write any of these statutes.
You didn't write the comp plan.
I didn't write the comp plan. I didn't put in their developmental agreement that was in there. That, the former mayor talked on TV about how this hurt him personally because he helped write the comp plan. If he wanted to write the comp plan where it stayed a certain way, he should have written it that way.
As other communities across the causeway have done.
Exactly.
Right. So, how do you plan to start this pack with only you only got 5 weeks, and what would be the purpose of a pack, and how would you use it, and how do you get money involved?
That's just it. If I spend more than $500, I have to have some sort of organization. If I accept or spend more than $500, I'm not asking anybody to contribute to it. I think I'll take care of that myself, thanks to my lovely wife and her hard work Monday through Friday for the company that she works for. She does a great job and brings in. She lets me be a kept husband. I'll put it that
Beaucoup
way.
amount of bucks.
Well, I wouldn't go that high, but so we'll take care of that ourselves, and I'll form that pack, and we'll get what we need to do to make our case to the voting public.
And John, explain to people that are watching or sitting here why they should vote no on the recall. What is it that you've done for the town that you'd like to hang your hat on?
Well, I don't like to talk about me specifically because when I grew up playing sports, I was always part of a team. I look at this council as part of a team, But I tell you, one of the things there are two things that I'm very proud of. One of the first things I did when I got elected at our first meeting was I made a motion that the council approved that waived the permit fees for folks that wanted to rebuild after Ian. I thought it was a travesty that the previous council that the two recall chairs were on voted it down. And I can't imagine sitting there looking at my friends and neighbors and telling them, after this devastation you've gone through, that yes, we need more of your money. Of course the town needed money, but we knew what the priorities were, and the priorities were to help people rebuild their homes and their businesses. So I'm very proud of that as a first thing. And also I've tried to hold the line on taxes. We've been doing a good job of not raising the millage rate. It doesn't mean your taxes have not gone up because of your property assessment and values have gone up. But I've worked hard on my end to keep that where it is, because I think that's important. We're only not even quite 3 years out from Hurricane Ian, and folks still need the continued help. So I tell you, one of the things that I know personally, having coming back to this island, that Lee County gave folks a benefit that knocked down the taxes they had to pay for their places of residence. We took advantage of that because we're full-time residents. But when we came back online and moved back into our unit and were able to use it to the fullest extent of what it was intended for, I think we had a 500% increase in our property taxes. It went from less than I think $250 to now it's well over $4,000 for. So that's quite a hit too. And then you throw on the 26% that was originally asked for. Yeah. Now it's backed off a little bit, but that's still a lot of money to a lot of folks.
There's a lot
that still need help.
There's a lot to
unpack.
Yeah.
There.
The first thing you said was about the waiving the permit fees. And that was something Veach was against because.
And Murphy voted against it.
Yeah. So would you agree that kind of has put you in a did put you in a financial bind?
I have no doubt about it. And that's part of the reason too, that our permitting staff was overwhelmed because there were so many folks that were taking advantage of that. But I still will say it was a good thing.
All right. So the budget, the budget comes up. The final budget vote comes up this week. Is it Wednesday or Thursday night?
Wednesday
night at
5:01.
5:01 is the second and
Not
final.
5 o'clock, 5:01.
Folks, since the last budget meeting, there's been some, I think there was some bad information that I watched in the first budget meeting. When you guys voted on the budget, I swear I heard Nancy say, or somebody say, yes, you can still go back up to the 26%, the 1.25.
Yes.
Right. Because you voted the tax increase down to 1 point, what the hell was it? 1.1 something. You went from 26 to about 13. You cut it in half because you wanted to give Joe, the finance director, some room. Maybe he'll find some money. Maybe Will needed some money. And so you wanted to give him some breathing room. Now, what I thought I heard was you could still go back up to the 26% because that was the first millage rate that you set, but you can't. You have to stay now at the second millage rate, correct?
I don't know that to be
all right.
true.
Well, I'm telling you that's a fact because so I'm sorry. I mean,
good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.
No, that's what I was told. That actually Dan told me that because I was getting confused. Like, I mean, now you're set at this 1.13. Now, the other thing I didn't know, whatever the second one, I'm probably getting the numbers wrong, but it's about 13%, right?
You're right.
In order to pass that tax increase, the vote needs to be 5-0. It can't be 3-2, can't be 4-1, because it's an increase that's substantial, right? So it needs to be 5.0. Otherwise, it has to be 9.99, which is what it is now, or the rollback rate, which I don't think you're going to, which is lower than that.
Right.
So are you going to vote for a 13% tax increase?
I will sit and listen to their arguments again on Wednesday, but I don't imagine a scenario where I would vote yes.
Because I'm asking him that because he's been a hard no on any kind of tax increase.
He answered it, but you get all like,
because he said he's going to listen to the information. I feel like I'm listening to a filibusterer.
No, he didn't. He just said he was going to listen to it, but he doesn't.
What will it take? Let's say
this previous recording brought to you by.
Listen, John, stop. Cut it out. Be serious for me. This
I'm
is
used
serious.
to recording commercials that play over and over and over.
People's tax money is serious business, John.
Damn straight.
So if you went to, let's say Joe Onzik, the finance director, came in and said, listen, we need this money for the reserve account. We need to go to this 13% to get the reserve account money? What would you say?
I'd say we've put $1 to $2 million in the reserves the last 2 years from the budget surplus we've had. What's happened to that?
Okay, fair enough. Good answer. Where's the bell?
Wow.
Okay, so
We got a bell.
easy. Relax, John.
He doesn't
relax.
give.
I got to
he
turn your
doesn't
mic
give
down.
them-
So the second question is, let's say
You're in charge of that. Not
let's
me.
say
I
Jeff.
used to run my own board better than this. So
Let's say Jeff comes in and he says, I need somebody
Them
to run the
there's fighting words.
pickleball courts. I need somebody to run the leagues for the kids. I need the kids to go to the field trip to the library and to Sunsplash. Is that good enough to increase the taxes?
I say let's find volunteers.
Okay, fair enough. So you're not voting for a tax increase. You're a hard no on Thursday.
I can't Wednesday, but I
Wednesday.
can't. Well, I
You
can't
vote
ima- I
Thursday, you're
can't
going to miss the
imagine-
vote.
Yeah.
All right. Dear, did I-
Everybody that wants to vote for tax increase
Yes.
show up Thursday.
Everybody that wants to vote for the recall, you go on November 6th. Everybody that's
there you
opposed
go.
to the recall, you go on November 4th. That's the way that Lee County has set it up.
There we go.
No, the other thing that was bizarre about the recall, and then I'll stop with the recall, is that you guys got yourself twisted into a pretzel last meeting because Tommy Doyle, who I've lost total respect for in this whole process, in addition to the philandering thing, but that's a whole different story. He tells you guys, or somebody told you guys, you had to set the qualifying dates. You refused to set the qualifying dates. And then the next day, he sets the qualifying dates. A total waste of time.
Exactly.
Murphy and Veach filed some kind of lawsuit
Where
against.
they said they just picked on Karen and I again instead of the rest of town council.
Yeah.
That we had broken the law. Well, actually, if they'd have paid attention, the town of Fort Myers Beach has a contract with Lee County Supervisor Elections to run our local elections. That was done after Hurricane Ian for a reason. So Tommy had that power all along, and he knew it, and he should have taken care of it that way instead of trying to embarrass us.
So Veach and Murphy file a
So you
lawsuit.
feel like that was targeted to embarrass you?
By Tommy, no. I just think that
It's all new to
This
everybody.
is
It
all a
just-
new
just
process
happened.
that
Yeah.
everybody. But
So
if
the-
we all would have just taken a deep breath, stood back, and relaxed, and realized,
Yeah.
Lee County is running our local elections now.
So let me
They-
make
they
my
had
point.
The power
Let me
along.
make my point before I forget it. Anyway, so they file a lawsuit against John and Karen, and then so Tommy Doyle sets the qualifying dates the next day, and then they withdraw the lawsuit. It's like, well, did you violate the law or not? You either did or you didn't. I mean, so what is it? So they take they remove the lawsuit. The whole thing is just a cluster effort. The whole thing is.
You're not getting an
So,
argument
and
out of
if
me
you
over
just
that.
didn't
A lot
violate
of-
the Sunshine Law, everything would be fine, John.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
So
Only in
the-
the dark.
So the other question I wanted to ask you about, which is it's going to be very awkward, I think, and very interesting, in that you will still be, no matter what happens, whether you're recalled or not.
God.
Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You will still be on the council when you have to reappoint people to committees. And the LPA has got 3 seats up. It's got Anita's seat, it's got Jane Plummer's seat, and it got Jim Bone's seat. And you got 2 people, Ed Schoonover, who's sitting right here, and you
Hi, Ed.
have Amy Lowry, who's a longtime member of the community
Amy's
with her
wonderful.
husband Rick.
Rick's
What-
also applying for a committee.
Just between us kids,
What committee is he applying for again?
I
Rick
think
is
board cap.
applying for board cap,
Okay.
Bay Oaks. Who would you like to see on the LPA?
I would like to see 3 qualified people on.
All right, we have 5 qualified people. In your mind, who are the top 3 qualified people?
I will sit and look at it when it comes before us.
You're
Come
going
on,
to
man.
have to wait.
Come on. Do you
Come on,
want?
what?
Would you? Are you going to vote
Let
for Anita?
me ask, do you agree that it's awkward or no? Is this completely
Well, sure. It's always awkward.
No,
when
it's
you-
not always awkward.
Sure it
What's
is.
awkward about it
I
is
think it's
because
awkward anytime you have to make a selection between qualified people. I think
No.
that's awkward.
well, that's true. That is true, and it's awkward to watch people get their jobs reviewed in the public. But I love watching all that kind of stuff when you see people getting their jobs reviewed.
Wait till we review you and
That's
yours
all
after
right.
this.
I
Yeah.
know as soon as John nominates me for like citizen. What was it? You come up with some kind of thing where I'm an honorary citizen.
Honorary citizen.
I know, and everybody else knows.
they have repealed that through a legal process.
Probably
minute-
other
Now
than my
he is the pariah.
I don't
probably
even
other
know.
than my first marriage. That's the biggest mistake I've
When
ever
they
made.
repeal that. You were married once before?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
What happened there? What went south?
Oh God,
well,
John, you opened yourself up.
Radio didn't help. Let me put it
that's
that
true.
way.
Travel all over the country. So did you guys give me some kind of certificate? I think it was a really official thing.
A nice piece of paper.
It was in the Bay Oaks thing.
It doesn't allow him to vote, though, so everybody can relax.
I understand it was a very soft
And Bill
piece of paper
Veach,
as well.
who totally hates my guts, he wrote a letter to the council at the time saying that they should never do this. And, it was, he doesn't.
They tried to make it like we were endorsing Beach Talk Radio and everything. It was just because we appreciated, at least I'll speak for me, I appreciated all the hard work you and Kim did
after
Hurricane Ian to get people the information they needed to raise funds for those that needed money.
Oh, I got it.
You did a great job, and that can never be taken away.
Right,
and you should never be ashamed.
Well,
of it.
there are those who have tried to tarnish
Well,
that for sure.
So
that's on them.
What's going to happen is, as soon as they have 3 votes, I'm sure it's going to be repealed. And you guys remember when I burned my shorts in the pan in the bag? That's exactly what's going to happen with this certificate. Actually, it's hanging up in the library now. I think that certificate. No. So, what was the other thing I was going to ask you? Damn. So you're not going to tell us who you're going to vote for there. Is there you got a call coming in, or just something that you wanted to bring up?
Just some notes. Yes.
Go right ahead, man.
Anybody other than you.
I'm watching Greg and Todd Klum.
We can wait for closing remarks.
There we go.
Have a chance to have.
No, does anybody in the
It
audience
is not
have
a court of law.
any
You don't
questions for
have to
John?
wait for closing remarks.
Does anybody in the audience have any questions for John? Any questions at all from the audience at all? Anybody want to ask him about any projects, anything coming up, or what is your prediction on what's going to happen on November 4th? How do you think it's going to go?
Victory.
And how many people like
I said, I'm silly enough that I ran for this town council seat after a little over the 1 year on the island, thinking and knowing in my mind that I could win, and we did. Now, I think Hurricane Ian had a lot to do with that, and the town's lack of response to that, but I still put in the effort. I worked hard. Folks saw me biking up and down this island with my signs, and that was one of the downsides of Hurricane Ian was I was losing some good weight doing that.
Yeah. Well, that's an upside, not a downside, right?
I know, but the downside was
it happened.
I couldn't. Yeah. And then I kept walking up and down stairs at our condo building, all 12 floors. And I think that's when the hips started going bad.
By the way, one of the things when we had Bill on the show, the last time he was on the show, when he was talking about the recall, he did say the town's response and their communication with the community was just fine. They did a fine job. He said that, and I swear I almost fell out of my chair. I mean, that was such a softball question that you could at least say, it didn't work. I mean, but that's it's a whole different animal with some of the folks that were in favor of Roger and John Herron. So anyway, by the way, you got this guy right here, man. That's some power on the South End right here.
Mr. George Rapetti,
former
New York
here.
PD, former attorney, and a good friend. And I appreciate George and his wife, lovely wife B. They've been great friends since Chris and I first came down here in the summer of 20. And we rented for a couple months trying to figure out what we wanted to do with our lives and where we wanted to live. And George and B were some of the first folks we met at Islands End, where we were renting at the time. And they've been great friends ever since. Yeah, and just so everybody knows, you need to vote whether one way or the other. I mean, it's important. There's 3,400-ish registered voters on Fort Myers Beach. And whether you're here or not, you can vote. You can get an absentee ballot from the Lee County Elections Department, and you can vote. You should vote so that we really know what the majority thinks. It's important for this council to know what the majority thinks. I mean, it seems like there's a good number of people that are angry about Seagate, and I get it. I mean, I still can't believe you guys passed 17 stories. I mean, no pushback at all. No pushback at all. Not true. And
not true.
It's not even 17 stories yet. It's proposed to be, but it could come in under that. They've always said that as well.
If you get approved, approved for 17 stories, why would you come in under that?
Because you don't need it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a builder.
All right. I'm just saying you
Well,
approve 17
You've already
stories.
got your mind made up, and you've tried to influence others for a long time about it.
About what?
About Seagate and this vote.
I've never tried to influence anybody about Seagate.
What's so funny
Stir that pot, Ed.
What's
Stir
so
that
funny
pot.
that you say that is there are so many people who would say the exact opposite.
We've lost so many friends and followers on this beach because they think we're in favor of Seagate.
Yep, and that's okay.
That's
hasta la vista, baby.
Easy, dear. Never seen you get so angry.
No, I mean, but it does. I mean, I get your point, but we get the other side.
Yeah.
You know, we get both sides of it. So it also is a no-win situation. If people would just sit back, listen to what people actually said, talk about what they actually did, and move on and do a process the right way, you all wouldn't be here.
Like I have respect for Tom Brady and they're spending a lot of money on their own money, but I have a lot of respect for what they did. That's the way to do it. You go to court and you ask a judge to send it back to the town council. Total respect for that. That's the right way to do it. But to tell lies about people, and you can't tell me I haven't been defending you and Karen to the end of the earth, because I don't like when people lie about people.
And I appreciate that.
100%.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to lie about people. Anyway, so vote. Get your vote. You know, whether you're absentee ballot or you're going to go, and the voting place is going to be Bay Oaks. Just so you all know, Bay Oaks will be where you go to vote on November 4th. And the way the process works is if you vote to recall John and Karen, that's when the people underneath will come into play. So you're going to be asked to do both things. But if the vote fails, if the recall fails, it doesn't matter about the vote. So it all happens on two sheets of paper, one for John and one for Karen, and all the names will be underneath there. So
I just think, too, it's important for people to really look at the ballot. I mean, I've gone in to read some of those, referendums or bills that are coming up, and that the language is tough. So you have to really look at what they're asking and make sure you're voting the way that you intend.
I will tell you, for one last thing, I will tell you that it's not easy for me to ask people for something. I'm a big man. I've always taken care of myself. But I will ask you, please vote no on this recall sham. I tell you, I'll put my ethics, I'll put my integrity, I'll put my honesty up against anybody's. And don't tell me honesty and integrity is what you're running on when you've signed a petition that you know is full of lies. There's your lack of honesty and integrity. So please vote no on November 4th. Thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you for your
John.
time.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
John.
so much.
Appreciate it.
You've
John,
always been great people, and I appreciate that about you.
and you take it. You take it well from me. So thank you very much. Big hand for John King, everybody. And before we get to our next guest here, I'm going to ask Tom to come up. Tom is from. He hasn't been here for a while, but he's back now from his vast many trips. Eddie Rood is coming up next, everybody. Eddie Rood is on the ballot. He's trying to take John's seat. Tom is from Eagle Eye Aluminum, and he's going to tell us about what his company does. Welcome home.
Yeah, well, had to take a little vacation, get out and take a break, but we're back in business. Sun is running while it's gone, and it's Eagle Eye Aluminum. We specialize in seamless gutters, soffit, fascia, and screen repair. We do pressure washing as well. Phone number is 239-340-1639, and we are still running specials through the rest of fall and into winter. So give me a call, please.
Thank you very much, Tom Coleman from Eagle Eye Aluminum. Thank you for being a sponsor. Jesus, it has to been like a year now that you've been with us. 4 weeks. 4 weeks. No, it has been like a year that you've been sponsoring the show. So thank you very much for that. And also, I wanted to tell you about the Island Pancake House. They went on vacation too, but they were back a few days ago. I know you probably can't see the location because these people have their big giant trucks. By the way, those trucks that you see blocking the Seagrape Plaza, there's a whole lawsuit going on in there. The guy that owns the plaza, he can't rent out the units because Himmelstein's got his trailers. He's got the pizza truck blocking they're suing each other. It's a whole, and Himmelstein owns the property out in front of the Seagrape Plaza where he's planning on opening up a furniture store eventually. It seems like that thing never moves along either. But in the back there is the Island Pancake House, and they have a great breakfast and lunch. And they're open 7 days a week. So we want you to go to see Brian and Stacy. They are some of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. and they live in Cape Coral. So just another connection to Cape Coral. They have a full liquor license, which, you can't go wrong with a full liquor license here on Fort Myers Beach. So you can also ask for anything that's not on the menu, and they'll make it for you. The Island Pancake House is open 7 days a week, 7:30 until 2 o'clock. Thank you very much to the Island Pancake House. All right, before we get to our final guest or second to last guest, I forgot Lacey's coming on. It's going to be alerting the affiliates that we're going to run a little long today. So if you have to go to the bathroom, now might be a good time to go, because we are also, all of our shirts are $15 today. We have all of our teal and yellow clock shirts with the Times Square clock on it, and our Gulf of America shirts are all $15 until they're gone. And we're also selling raffle tickets for $20 for a pink shell getaway at the Pink Shell Resort, and that is to benefit the Cape Coral Youth Council. We love the kids, and we are ready for our own little baby coming out soon. Yeah.
And also, if you want the Chris Young tickets, which is also at the Pink Shell, you don't.
We love the Pink Shell.
You don't have to pay for. You just sign up for, and I think you're going to do the raffle for the Pink Shell
Friday.
Oh, you're doing it Friday?
At Island Hook Pink.
Because I think
Grill.
what we'll do is use those tickets and put them in. So everybody here gets every chance.
You can't do that.
Well,
because
then,
they're $20 for the youth council
I
thing
know,
and free for
but the free for that. So everybody who paid 20 can also get in on the free thing, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm totally confused, but whatever you say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he put his name in the hat. He's on the some committee. What committee is he on? What committee are you on, Ed? The Murph committee. Yeah, the Murph committee. Come on down, Eddie Rood. He's not wearing pink shorts today, thankfully. Oh, no, that's John's thing, the pink shorts. Come on around, Ed. Eddie Rood is going to be on the ballot for the November 4th recall election. He also lives on the south end of Fort Myers Beach, and he's very well known for a dune walkover, which, geez, the newspaper tried to really paint you into the dune walkover corner there. That's all they wrote about, the whole article. So take microphone number 3, keep it nice and close. And
yeah, did you read that article?
Which article?
The one that Ed was just talking about, where the newspaper
and the Observer.
Talking about
you're getting really close to her. You're leaning right in close to her. Ed. Relax.
I'm trying to hear what she's saying.
Oh, okay. Are you deaf in one ear? Is that what you told us? Okay. Which ear are you having
I can't hear.
You can't hear me?
Out of either one of them, hardly.
Okay.
What article? What newspaper?
Never mind. It's not important.
Oh, okay.
So the first question I have for you is, what the hell are you thinking? You know you have no chance.
Well,
right? Am I right?
Now they have a friendship. So
but you
can just say
you
whatever.
you have no chance, right? If we're being honest.
You have no chance.
That's true.
What I realized at the last minute, Ed, I've been watching what's going on and keeping up pretty much with everything that's been said, and it obviously the process bothers me. I'm not in favor of the recall. I hope that everyone that votes, I hope they get out there, and I hope they vote no, not to recall. But what I began to realize right at the last minute,
you got to keep it close.
What I began to realize right at the last minute, I was looking to following to see who the candidates were, who had registered to run in the recall, and the only people that were on there are the people that are supporting Protect FMB.
Well, wait, just to be clear, Tom is the president of Protect FMB, but I don't think Rebecca was a player in that. I asked her that when I talked to her. I don't think I'm not saying she did. I don't know whether or not she signed the recall, but she wasn't an active member. When I talked to her, she was more about helping people fill out the paperwork. She did a lot of work for, I think, people that were applying for CBDGR money. I mean, that's her specialty. So while I don't know everybody that was in that committee, I don't think she was a heavy player in that. So
okay.
I don't want to paint her in that corner because I don't know that that's true.
No. But and I don't know either. But what I did read.
Well, you did say it then.
I did read some comments where it indicated that she was in agreement with what Protect FMB's position was.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know if he's involved in it at all. Anyway, and so I'm not in favor of what Protect FMB is trying to do. I don't. we've got too much negativity. We've got too much drama. It's slowing the process down. It's slowing the development down. The commercial properties are not coming back with the speed that they could have possibly. This talk about follow the comp plan, follow the comp plan, follow the comp plan. I've read the comp plan. They are following the comp plan. I'm familiar with what the comp plan says.
Well, let's talk about the comp plan and Seagate specifically. If you did look at the comp plan and the LDC, there were actual drawings of the future of the Red Coconut property that those folks put in there, and they were pictures of houses and streets and things like that. That's not what we're getting.
It's not what we're getting.
Yeah, it's not what we're getting.
What are we getting?
You're getting 17 stories.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh, here we go again with the we don't know that yet thing.
We don't know that yet. We don't know where this is going to end up and how it's going to play out. But there's a process put in place for FMB, Protect FMB to follow.
Right.
And they've done that, and I
Yes.
respect that. And the process will play out. I would guess that the judge will not want to get involved in it.
And what? Which one?
For the writ of certiorari.
Yeah, so you think he's going to dismiss that and won't go back to the council?
I don't think he'll dismiss it. I think that he'll put it on the council.
Oh.
I think that he'll be like, I don't
I see.
want to get involved in this,
I got
so
no dog
I'm
in
just going to ask the council to look at it again.
When it goes, if it goes
Let me
back,
just ask something to you. When you
Go right
say they
ahead.
put, they wrote the pictures
yeah,
and that was the vision. And that's kind of Dan talked about this last week about it not. But the point is, if that is your vision, then put those specifics in there. Put
Nothing
the
else but
language
that.
in there that makes sure that your vision is carried out. Why
Right.
wouldn't you do that? Why would you? You don't know what's going to happen
because
in the future. Put the language in the comp plan
that this is
for
the way
your
it has
vision.
to be. Yeah, and the fuzziness of
Well, the comp
public-
plan,
because you leave it open and then you're going to get mad when someone walks through the door that you've left open.
the comp plan specifically states that you're allowed 2 floors over flood by right. What that means is that as long as what you're wanting to do complies with the rest of the codes, the setback lines, the coastal construction line, and everything is kosher, all you have to do is submit it to the building officials department, and bingo, if there's no problems, you get a permit. It specifically states in the comp plan under the commercial plan development,
Mhm.
The CPD, that there is a provision in place that you have every right to ask for more.
right.
It doesn't say how much more. It doesn't say 8 or 12 or 16. There's no limit.
Right. As long as you provide some kind of public benefit,
Public
and then
benefit
it becomes a
in
fuzzy.
exchange
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
what you're asking for. Okay, so public benefit, what is that?
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
that?
I can tell you what it is. It's whatever the council decides it is.
Right. Or not.
There's
Or
no
not.
definition
Yeah,
of that. no.
exactly.
By the way, Ed, why are your toenails so long? I mean, those things, you could kill somebody if you kicked them right now. Why do you let them grow so long? What is that all about?
Well, you know what,
What?
Ed?
What? I mean, aren't they too long? Don't you think they're
I-
too long?
Yeah, they are.
All right. Well, when
But I
when you
can't
go
say,
home,
I can't
You know
say-
what?
I can't
I'm
say
going to
that I
get you
looked at
some
them.
clippers
no, mine are.
and
no-
you can help him out.
I am so. I am so.
He
crazy.
has his feet completely
If I
covered
took my
because you don't
sandals off-
want to see. He's got talons
No,
at the end
wrong.
of those things.
Dear, I'll take mine off. I cut my toenails yesterday because I'm obsessed with toenails and fingernails and things like that. Because that you can't have them too long like that. That's.
My-
I mean, what is
my-
the? Is there
My
some
question,
kind of?
the question I have, Ed, is what are you doing looking at
I know
my toes?
because I can't now. I can't look away. There's like you.
Here,
you
his toes are fine.
yeah, look at that big toe right there.
Here,
That thing is
his-
like a knife.
Move on.
So what were we
This is
talking
like
about?
your
We were
frog
we were
story.
talking
Let me
about the
just
comp
hang
plan.
on 1 minute. I have to say, this is totally off the subject, which is what he did the other day. Yes, let me get us back on. We were in Cape Coral talking to people, and he starts talking about Bofu frogs, and the room is completely quiet, and they're all looking at him like, what are you talking about?
Because
And that was that
here's
moment.
here's a little behind the scenes kind of thing. Sometimes you can talk about the issue so much you get bored by it. Like people get bored by it. They want to hear
No,
some
people
entertainment stuff.
No, people don't.
Like now,
that is your
Eddie's going to go
opinion.
home. He's going to cut his toenails. He's going to take pictures of them, and he's going to put them on Facebook. You're going to put your. Sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that. My bad. My bad. So the other thing was, you asked me the other day about Facebook. You said, should you stop posting on Facebook? Because some of your posts are crazy. Like you get a little crazy.
Well,
what have you decided?
You know, here's the deal. I've got quite a large following. You probably noticed for an individual. A lot of them.
How big is your following?
A lot of them are people I grew up with. There's a bunch of them that are people that I grew up with. They've known me all my life. They know my sense of humor or my darker side, my darker sense of humor, and they also know my sarcasm. And
I know.
I
heard it.
And so, you know, why not just? I put some stuff on Facebook that's kind of out there, kind of crazy, but.
Yeah,
you know, you got to.
I gotta say, yes, you do. Sometimes I'm like,
yeah. You got to admit though, most of it's funny. You know, it's a lot of funny stuff.
I like a lot of your throwback stuff.
Yeah, and I put my opinions, I put my political opinions on there.
Yeah, I mean, you need to stop doing
everyone that knows me knows I'm a conservative. I support Donald Trump. I've supported him in 16. I supported him again in 20, and I supported him in the last election in 24. You know, we're going through some very traumatic political times right now. All
right, we're getting off the subject.
Yeah. Anyway,
so the other question I have a bunch of questions for you. So if you were on the council during the Seagate vote, would you have voted yes or no?
I'm going
to try to be.
It's a yes or no question.
Yeah, no, it's not a yes or no question because I wasn't there when it was presented the first time. And I wasn't at the LPA when it was presented to the LPA. I was not at the council when it was presented to the council.
So
so I don't know the exact specifics of the development.
If there was a 17-story building proposed for the Red Coconut property, would you vote yes or no?
I'd have to look at the entire project. I don't know where the 17-story building is.
If there was a 17-story building right in the middle of the Red Coconut property, nothing else.
If there were a 17-story building in the center of 10 acres,
yeah,
with smaller buildings descending around it towards where the residential areas are,
yes or no?
I would probably vote in favor of it.
Okay. What is the height that you think should be approved across the island? Is there one height of buildings that you think?
No, I do not.
Okay, so let's say just by argument, somewhere in mid-island to south end of the island, there was a 15-story building proposed. Would you be okay with that?
And again, it all depends. Okay. In the comp plan, if you read in the comp plan, there's a provision in there that if there are tall buildings near you.
Yes.
Okay, you may have read that. Okay, what is the definition of a tall building near you?
Yeah.
Within eyesight, next door, the adjacent property. What is the definition?
Right.
So you would have.
Let me be more specific.
You'd have to go to.
I'll be more specific.
Yeah.
Let's say there was a property called the Outrigger.
Right.
And there was a 15-story building proposed for that property with a 12 and a 13 and a 14 within eye distance. Would you approve that?
If the project looked good and all the rest of it was within the confines of the requirements, I probably would be.
So let
me clear this up.
You're not opposed to big buildings.
No, I'm not. Let me clear this up because I do feel like I do have a good chance in the event that the recall does get approved. If it does go through, I think I have as good a chance as any of the other two candidates. I am pro-development. I want to move the island forward. I'm tired of the drama. I'm tired of all the bickering and the complaining. One side wants this, one side wants that, blah, blah, blah. The island needs to be brought back together. The people need to be reunited. They need positive leadership, not negative leadership. The island needs to be developed. Folks, one thing that I don't know if anyone's thinking about, you cannot support a community based off of residential property taxes. It's impossible. The town will go broke, and it won't take long. You've got to have large commercial development that are multi-million dollar properties. And those are the properties that support the infrastructure. I don't know about everybody else, but let me tell you, I like nice things.
Yes.
I want the island to be nice. The streets flooding every time it rains. The drainage is screwed up. The roads are screwed up. The potholes. It's unbelievable to have a place in paradise that you love so much, and to drive around and see it's like a rundown. The infrastructure is run down, and part of the reason for that is there's not enough money to modernize it. And at some point, it's going to have to be modernized. You're not going to have a choice. And if you don't have this commercial property tax base coming in, a lot of it, you're not going to be able to make those. You're not going to be able to make the repairs. You're not going to maintain the infrastructure that we've got. And
So, talking about infrastructure, how do you pay for that in advance of those big developments coming in? Are you advocating for a big old impact fee, or shall we say mobility fee, whatever you want to call it, on new growth, paying for new stuff?
typically, when big developments go in, they spend a lot of money towards their use of the current infrastructure. And it's no different.
But the current infrastructure, you were just saying, really isn't going to support.
No, it all has to be updated. It's going to have to be updated. And the developments that come in, there are fees that are paid, impact fees that are paid towards.
Yeah, do you think they're enough now? Because have they even landed on the impact fees? Hello?
If they'll,
Sorry?
Have they even landed on the new impact
No,
fees yet?
we're still waiting for this 1 year long report that Jason's been doing, but it
Listen.
sounds like he's close to the end, right?
I'm not, another issue I want to be clear on. I am not in favor of raising the property taxes, 13% or 26%.
There you go.
All right. So Joe, they went back to Joe and they said, listen,
Look at that thing. What are you doing?
they said, is there an alternative to raising the property, the residential property tax? And he came back, his team, he came back, listen, the budget is only short $1.2 million. $1.2 million is a drop in the bucket in comparison to the
I want you to
entire
write
bucket.
that check, Mr. Drop in the bucket.
So, all right. So here's the deal. So Joe came back and he said, yeah, we can tighten our belt a little. We can tighten our belt a little. We can do this. We can do that. We can,
Get rid of the
things,
fireworks.
do some things different, shift our priorities around, and we can not only cover the 1.2 million, we'll still have $500,000 to put in the emergency fund. So we can continue to contribute to the emergency fund. Even though that's a small amount, it's still a positive amount. Get these projects approved, get the shovels in the ground, get the development going so that we can start getting the taxes from the commercial.
Ed, let me ask
property.
you this. You're a little shorter on the answers, though. If you could, if you can't, you can't. But if you could, we don't want to be here till 1 o'clock when the football starts.
I apologize.
We're having lunch with our daughter. For some reason, she thinks like this is our last chance to have lunch with our daughter because she's having a baby. I'm like,
it's our last.
She never comes out of the house again after she has a baby.
But she's going to be busy, and it's the last time she's going to be. I mean, she's always going to be our daughter, but now she's going to be a mommy.
What she meant was it'll be the last time I see her for 6 months because she's leaving the house to go live with her daughter for 6 months to take care of that baby. So wait a second over there.
One other thing I'd like to point
No.
out.
I didn't ask a question yet. You have to wait till I ask the question. That's okay. So you think on the South End that you have some pretty good pull, right? You feel like you have some pretty good.
I do feel like that.
Yeah, and so what is your?
I think I got pretty good pull all over the whole island if you're in favor of developing the island and moving it forward.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your general feedback from people that you have pull with that as far as whether or not the recall is going to pass?
you know, Ed, I really hadn't talked to them or asked them about it. I plan on it. I plan on addressing it, but
Okay.
I really haven't addressed it yet. So I
Okay, what's your gut feeling? It pass or doesn't pass?
I really don't. I think that the people are going to look into this because of all the publicity, the negative publicity, and I think our people are good people, good-hearted people. The people that come in during season that come here, they're good-hearted people. They're reasonable.
Okay.
I think they'll see this for what this is, and I think that the registered voters, I think that they'll vote no. I think they'll vote not to
Okay.
recall.
Yes, we'll see. So if you're going to go, you can you vote?
Yes, I
Okay,
can
so
vote.
you can vote. You'll vote no.
Well, he can vote now. If he
I'm
can vote, he can run.
Sorry, I'm not very smart, dear, as you point out every show. So you're going to vote no, and then you'll vote for yourself. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else will you vote
Well,
for?
wouldn't you vote for
I
yourself
won't.
if you
It's me
were
only.
running?
Okay, you can only vote for one. I guess that's right. You can't vote.
I
for
don't
one.
know. I don't know.
You don't have to vote for two. You can vote for one, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say you were on the town council right now, and
Right.
you had a chance to appoint members of the LPA.
Right.
And the situation that's going on right now with Anita, Jane, and Jim, and then Ed Schoonover, who I believe you lobbied to apply for the LPA. Is that
Right.
correct?
Right.
And Amy, who would you vote for?
Just see there again, man. I'm not. I'm not afraid to say it.
Okay, well then say it. You don't have to say you're not afraid to say it. Just say it.
I'm not in favor of Anita being reappointed to the LPA
Why?
because she donated to the Protective MP lawsuit. She spoke in favor of it, and she even made an attempt to recruit people to join in with that movement. And
How do you know
It
she
is.
recruited people?
it
to
was
get
on
in-
her Facebook page. She said that something. I don't remember what it said.
was on
I
her
encourage.
Facebook
I
page,
encourage
that's it.
people to join. I encourage people. What I don't remember what it
I'm
said.
guessing if you encouraged Ed to run, you would obviously vote him in.
No, yes, I am. I would vote.
Who
for
wants
it.
50-story buildings on the island, right, Ed? I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that.
I can't.
But do you realize?
Jane, here's the other thing too. I know Jane and Anita are very, very close friends. There's no question about that. But I will tell you this: Jane has always voted her own mind. Jane has been good on the LPA.
Well, so was Anita. You can't say Anita hasn't voted her own mind. She's
But
been on
he's
this island.
I
already
didn't
talked
say
about-
Anita hadn't voted her mind.
Well,
What
okay,
I'm
well,
saying is Jane hasn't been influenced with her friendship with Anita.
Or-
Jane has still voted her own mind, even when she's disagreed with Anita.
Yeah.
And
Fair enough.
that's so, and she's been on it a long time. She knows the ropes. She was the chairperson. She
Yeah.
relinquished the chair. Jim, I don't know Jim. I personally don't know him. I don't know him. And of course Amy I know very well also. You
Yeah.
know. So to that end, I would not be in favor of reappointing Anita, and I would be in favor of appointing Ed.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
He would not vote
Oh,
for
okay,
Anita,
gotcha,
but he
gotcha.
would
Okay.
vote for
I
Ed.
misheard
And
it.
so
I
then
misheard
there's
it.
one more. He's just got to decide
So
between
with
them.
with all these big buildings going in or getting approved, why not just go back to Lee County?
We've come too far, Ed. We don't need to go back to Lee County. We need to fix what we have and get it on track. And that started with the regime change that took place after Hurricane Ian. We had an opportunity to take hold and to recover from Ian and move forward. Dan has done a marvelous job. He after Ian, I mean, he literally was one of
Yeah.
the saviors of the island.
For sure, 100%. Yeah.
Him and Megan are
Who?
wonderful people.
Who's she?
Megan.
Megan who? Kidding.
They're-
I know she's watching.
They're
That's right.
they're wonderful people. They work tirelessly. I mean, practically killing themselves trying to help people and keep it all together and to keep the island from falling apart. One of the things I wanted to touch on too, back to the comp plan.
Yeah.
I'd like everyone to understand that the comp plan also has a density limitation. And on the Fort Myers Beach, it's 2.5 times the square footage of the property in most areas. In some areas, it's only 1.5 times the square
Getting in
footage
the
of the
weeds.
property.
Getting in the weeds here.
Okay,
Oh,
so
please. We've gotten
so
in the-
anyway,
sorry.
long
I just
story
stepped
short,
on this.
the comment was made on council that It's not the town's. The town is not obligated to help a business figure out how to make a profit. That is the most ironic statement I've ever heard in my life. The town council should be doing everything within the limits of the ordinances that are in front of them, trying to get these developments going and get these businesses, because they got to have the property taxes.
Just a little, I don't know if this is the same thing, but if you pay attention to Cape Coral at all, they actually have grants and financial incentives for businesses that build, like the slipaway boat thing that you guys saw. They were able to apply for $1 million in tax breaks and things like that, grants and things like that, because the city does want more business to come in. Now, it's not the same as a 17-story condo building. It's a little bit different because it's a business.
It's also a little different, Ed. We don't need to entice business to come here. Business wants to be here.
Yeah, I don't know if they do right now.
In Cape Coral, they're trying to entice business to come to Cape Coral.
That's true.
So there's we have prime real estate here that corporations already want.
Right.
We can ask them to pay money.
Right.
As we discussed earlier with the infrastructure, what I want to point out is, even with the increase in density, the businesses that have come before the LPA and the council and asked for increases in density, the increases in density have been far below what is in the comp plan. They haven't gotten close to 2.5. I think the only one that comes to mind.
Wait.
Well, let him finish. Let him finish. What is the one that comes to mind? Because a couple come to mind for me.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind to me is already done, finished, and over. Margaritaville. They approached the maximum FAR fairly close. I don't know how close. I don't remember what the figures were. The project that was just approved, Neptune, their FAR is one of the higher ones of the projects that have been before council. But the bottom line is they're all less than the density that's allowed by the comp plan.
I don't think that's true at all.
No,
I think that Seagate's density was underneath what they were allowed.
Seagate's density is underneath.
Seagate was
That's
density.
what I just said, Ed.
No, I don't. But I don't think Myers side was the density. Myers side went over the density.
Yeah.
Neptune went over the density. Moss went over the density.
They did not. They did not go over the maximum density.
If you're going to be on the town council, you might want to do that.
You needed to do a little homework.
Okay.
Nobody has exceeded the maximum FAR of 2.5. None of them have.
Ed, we're talking about two different things, aren't we? We're talking about density.
That is the density. The FAR is the density.
All right. Whatever you say.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Seagate, let me point something out
conversation?
about Seagate. The Seagate property is about 30% less. The density that they've asked for is about 30% less than what was there when it was the Red Coconut. And then I got to ask you another question. When you drive down Estero and you get to that area of the island that goes from the bay all the way to the beach, do you want to see RVs and trailers and all of that? Or do you want to see a large, beautiful, magnificent, multi-million-dollar complex? Because that's what you're choosing between.
You're not going to see RVs and you're not going to see trailer parks because they're not
That's
allowed.
what was there. No,
they're not allowed now. You're not going to see those.
That's not the point, Ed. The point, Ed, is what you had versus what you can get. That's the point.
Yeah. All right. Any statement, election statement that you want to make about
vote
why?
No. Vote no. Not to recall. That's the best choice. Keep the island moving forward. Let's move forward. Let's move this island forward. And I asked you to vote no, and then I asked you to vote for me to be one of the replacements in the event that the recall does go through.
I really don't know the process because I don't even know where to look for the process, but I do believe whether or not you vote yes or no, you can still vote, even if you vote no.
Yes, yeah.
Is that right?
I was just there. I just asked them.
I don't even know. When you vote no, you can still vote for two people, just in case the yes. If the yes is passed, is the elections, folks, are they going to say, well, this person voted no, so they throw out their votes? I don't even know what the.
No, I asked them when I was there this past week. You vote yes or no on the recall,
Yeah.
and you pick your candidates in the event that
Okay.
the recall goes
Do you
through.
think,
It's all done in
Gotcha.
one
One
ballot.
fail swoop.
and we will even be able to find out, even if the recall fails, who got the most votes? That's what I did find that out.
I didn't ask
Yeah.
that.
So, what was the last question I was going to ask you?
We can move forward, and we
Yeah.
can move the island forward, or we can move backwards. Does the island want to go back to Roger Hernstead and John Herron?
Yeah.
I mean, think
be a-
about it. The progressives, we have people that are progressive now. Let's keep them.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Ed Rood, vote no, and then vote for Ed if you'd like to. If not, don't vote at all or vote. Thank you very much, Ed. Oh, all right. One more guest, and we're going to give away the tickets to the Chris Young concert. And by the way, if you came late, we are selling $20 raffle tickets for a pink night. This show's gone on way too long. A pink shell weekend. And the money is 100% of the money is going toward the Cape Coral Youth Council. We're starting to do a lot of fundraising over in the Cape. In addition to here, we're also doing a lot of work with the Police Athletic League over there because, it's all about the kids, Lacey, because, we're all going to die soon. At least I feel like I'm going to die soon.
Well, your ticket may get punched very quickly.
Well, you're just shooting straight today, aren't you?
I'm telling you. So Lacey McClary, I think a lot of you know her. She's a wonderful local artist. She's so talented, so gifted. She has a studio. Is the studio in Captiva or Sanibel? Go ahead.
I'm actually in the Iona area right now, and still,
It's in Iona.
I'm still working out of.
That's
a
what I
garage space
said.
after the hurricane.
Good job doing your research, dear.
No, but you're right. I had a studio and a gallery right off of the beach, kind of catty corner to Dock Fords and Olsa Marina. So all those shrimp boats wiped that one, and then I was on the east end on Sanibel. But
and I just want to give you a few more shout outs.
please,
You did the down on Fort Myers Beach. You did the elevator shaft sections of that.
yep,
The wavy wall.
sailboat, and the seahorse side.
And she really saved my behind when we did the hurricane the people that were lost in the hurricane. We did this. She did this amazing, beautiful painting, and we sent it off. And I mean, we must have gone back and forth on that thing so many times, and it turned out.
Yeah.
I will never forget being down here, and I was so nervous because no one had seen it. We had it, closed off. And when we pulled the thing down, Anita literally took a breath in and just was so, it was so beautiful. It is so beautiful.
She got to sit up on the stage there with all the muckety
I was
mucks.
on the dais.
Who were you sitting with? Next to Jonathan Martin or Kevin Ruane, or who was it? You were sitting. Yeah, they shoved you in the back with Ruane or something.
I was at the
and it was like
right.
99 degrees that day, and it was
literally the hottest day.
Yeah, and by the way, that picture is now in the lobby of the library, and one of the reasons I think the town decided to put it there was because Mitch was he was like a greeter at the library, and he died in the storm, as everybody knows. And I thought, I'm sorry, we're getting off your time here, but I thought we didn't really want to do anything for the 3rd anniversary of the storm, because after a while you get tired of talking about the anniversaries of something that was so devastating. I thought if I sat in the foyer of the library and just did a show with Mary, Mitch's wife, the two of us sitting there with the picture behind us, because she was so emotional that day, obviously for obvious reasons, but she was so irritated because the muckety mucks took it over. I mean, they were just rambling on, and who was the state guy that just took, he thanked every
we're moving on.
So anyway, I just want to say, can I
go ahead, hijack it?
It was
so you're here,
but it was such I just want to say thank you for asking me, because honestly, I personally went through the storm. I know a lot was lost for everyone in our community, and it was honestly such an honor to be asked to do that. And it truly is. It means a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to a lot of people. And the picture that's in the background is actually a drawing that I did from the eagles that rebuilt that are in the backyard in the Iona area, and so it really represents rebuilding, like the love of our community, and then the birds. We went back and forth on that, and how many birds are in the picture that are flying away. So anyway, it was very emotional, very touching, and thank you for asking me to do that.
Well, thank you for doing it.
meant a
And that's
lot.
not what you came here. You came
It's
here
not.
to talk about
We're doing
Island
fun
Hopper
stuff.
Fest. Yes.
We're
So go
hopping
ahead.
around. So Island Hopper Fest is going on. It's actually their 11th year, and it's out on Captiva. I've been out there doing that, and with Cat Country. Amy Lynn's a dear friend of ours, and they provided the tickets that were given away for Chris Young. That's at Pink Shell, and there's a special event that I'm doing. I kind of went to the VCB and said, we should really include art and music together, because to me, I think they're hand in hand, like they go together. And so we're doing canvas and chords. Yep.
Go ahead.
With the Lair Homes, which they're incredible.
And I was on Facebook. I saw, no, it was Instagram. I think I saw the video of the home where you're doing it.
It is
Holy
phenomenal.
moly.
And it overlooks the Rookery, kind of down near Santini on that end. And it's a spectacular home. And the craftsmanship that they have, I truly do believe that they're like one of the leading best builders in this area after the hurricane. And they're building some beautiful homes in that area. And so I'm honored to be painting, and everything that's sold from the tickets, which are on the island, it's on the Island Hopper app. So definitely download that. Goes to Southwest Florida Reefs, and 100% of everything that goes to the reefs, he gives back to the water. And so Mike Campbell with Southwest Florida Reefs is truly incredible, and they have made artificial reefs, and he literally is so passionate about the water in this area.
And so the event goes on the 27th, that event, right? From what's the time? 4 to, come on, girl. I believe
I show up and paint.
I believe it's 4 to 6.
It is. It's 4 to 6. It's
There's
next
a
Saturday.
couple folks that are going to be singing.
Yes, Danny Myrick and Katrina Kane. And Danny Myrick sang also with the songwriters. Locash is going to be in Cape Coral. He sang or wrote I Love This Life. He also wrote She's Country, that song. I can't sing. I can paint. And just incredible. So it's going to
4
be
to 6.
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
4 to, no, I was joking, kind of.
Okay. Yeah. Well, just one more thing. So if the Island
tickets
Hopper's
are
going
still
on, it started on the 19th, and it
Yes.
goes for 10 more days? 10 days?
It's 10 days, and it goes Cape Coral, downtown, and then out here next
Mhm.
weekend to end with the pool party. The tickets are still available for my event, Canvas and Chords. And I will say that I will be giving away a painting that day. So included with the price of the ticket will include an opportunity to win the painting, and also appetizers, wine. Suncoast Beverage is providing all that. So
How much are the tickets for your event?
oof. I believe there are 125.
Okay.
I know it seems like a high price, but also, like I
Not
said,
for a piece of
every
art.
single dime goes to Southwest Florida Reefs, and it's so
Cool.
important for us to keep the water
All
clean
right.
in
And
this
if
area.
you're interested in the, oh yeah, no, you're not doing this to me. If you're interested in the Island Hopper event, go on their
Yes.
website or they have a app that will tell you everything that's going on. We've been to some of the events in the past, and it
incredible.
is incredible. It is incredible.
And
Okay.
Amy Lynn with iHeart and Cat Country, and she's on the beach. She is the one that provided the tickets, and so she's on air every day, weekdays on Cat Country, 10 to 3, and then the beach 3 to 7. So
Wow,
can
you
thank
had that
Amy
down.
Lynn. I
All
did.
right. Now
All
we're
right,
going to
listen.
pick. Go ahead. You pick.
No, let her pick. I'm not.
I'll let you pick.
I'm gonna let
All right,
Ed
I'll
pick.
pick.
Don't look.
And the winner of the Chris Young tickets, Mary Weiss. Is Mary still here? Mary Weiss. Yes, you get tickets. Come
All
on
right.
down, Mary. Congratulations. Well, thank you so much, Lacey, for coming on and for everything you've done for us.
And so this is Sunday, September 28th.
Next Sunday at
Yep.
the Pink
Pink
Shell
Shell.
Pool.
It's incredible. It is a good time.
Thank you
So,
very much.
Enjoy.
There you go, Mary. You're
thank
going to
you.
be here next
Thank you
Sunday.
for having me.
Of
All
course.
right.
really
of
appreciate
course.
it.
Big hand for Lacey, everybody. And we have to do one last thing before we go. Eddie needs to make a correction of something, and I'm going to love this one. Yeah, because Eddie said he got a text from somebody who also gave me a text. So go ahead and grab microphone number 3. Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody.
Okay, so I don't
Make it fast.
I
Ed.
don't want to confuse
Football
the
starts
issue.
at 1.
The FAR and the density are two separate things. The FAR has to do with the size of the building. And so that was what I was referring to. I'm not sure. There may have been some of these that have asked for they obviously have asked for increased density.
Yes, they did.
And so, right. And so they were granted increased density.
Most
So-
every other one did,
Yeah,
except for
okay.
Seagate.
Right. And so I just wanted to, I apologize for
Yeah.
tying the two together.
If you're ever,
and let me say it, I was wrong and Ed Ryan was right.
thank you very much, Big. Yeah, I'm going to give myself
Everybody clap. Give Ed a
very
hand.
much. Thank you.
He's not right very often, but he was right about that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you, Ed, for doing that. All right, everybody. Well, we want to thank you all for coming out today to Wahoo Willie's. A big hand for my wife. Thank you. And good luck in all of this that's going on. And if you have some time to kill later, you should go back and watch the Facebook comments. Lots of fighting going on in the Facebook comments there. Yeah, Greg was right in the scrum there too. So it'll be interesting to see if Greg puts his name in the hat tomorrow before the deadline, or if these are the 3. And also Rebecca was watching the show and asked that I call her. So I hope she's not mad at me. So good luck to all your football teams today, and we will see you next Saturday. We are back on the terrace at Margaritaville for our Saturday show, and Karen Woodson will be our guest Sunday here at Wahoo Willie. So you all have a great Sunday. We appreciate you coming out. Bye-bye.